What do you guys think of that?
That's what I want to be when I grow up. Because, I mean, it's just, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And to watch Pat play, especially his right hand, it's just proof that there's no right or wrong way to pick a guitar. I get the question all the time, oh, you use a lot of down picks, and whatever feels comfortable, that feels good to me. But, you know, if you say, oh, you shouldn't hold your hand like this and do this, well, go watch Pat Martino, and it's the cleanest, fastest playing I've ever heard. So I just think it's spectacular. I mean, it's to me, it's like when I listen to Mahavishnu with McLaughlin and Billy Cobham. It's just, I love it so much. I get so immersed in it, but um, it just seems so far out of my realm of thinking when I play that I don't even attempt to go there studying wise or playing wise, you know. But I mean, huge fan. My goodness, you listen to that. I could listen to that over and over again, and it just makes me feel like running around my house 50 times. That's how excited it gets me to listen. I really mean that. And Pat's not doing so well, as most of us probably know. But iconic, iconic. He's like the last of the icons as far as innovation. And I mean, yeah, what else can I say? I'm speechless now after rambling.
What do you say, Tim? What do you
Well,
think about that?
I listen to those records. I think it's a 12-string guitar, but no octave strings. He either, as someone posted, he only doubled the top three strings in unison and left the other three at the bottom. But I almost think, and I think I remember this, all 12 strings were in unison, even the bottom one. So it must have been incredible tension. Of course, Pat was increasingly putting heavier and heavier strings on his guitar to get it's like getting hit in the head with a hammer over and over and over and loving it.
Well,
But
they called him the Velvet Hammer.
oh, really?
That was his
Okay,
nickname,
yeah.
the Velvet Hammer.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's incredible. And if you want to get a sense of it, he cut his teeth in organ trios, and an organ is another instrument you don't have to breathe to play, right? So they can have these endless lines. Like if you listen to that recording, go back and see how many times did he stop playing that stream of notes, and it was basically once per chorus. There were some triplets in there, but he played and he connected the dots, and it was just this, because, unlike, say, where Charlie Parker would have a space, and he'd start a phrase and he would end a phrase, Pat just boom, and then he would, toward the end of the chorus, he would take a little breath and then he would go, and that's not a judgment on my part. That's just that's what causes so much of the excitement, and his insistence on the beat, and he's just driving that beat. I mean, you take away that band, and it doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter that the band's there, because he's just playing so fully realized and rhythmically so powerful. It's
And
really
then
great.
Lester Young comes in, or he's like, I mean, it's like everything.
That's right.
The guy's got everything. Just incredible, incredible feel. Like you said, you take the band away and it's still as powerful, I bet.
It really is. And he's in league with Coltrane in that regard. Although there is a beautiful version of the same song on a record called Live at Yoshi's with an organ trio with Joey DeFrancesco, and they kind of reharmonize it into minor, and it's quite different. But to hear the two, and see how he's managing, sort of post memory loss and all that stuff. I mean, it's Pat Martino is really, really a phenomenal person, a phenomenal, personality in our music. It's really amazing what he can do and what he has done.
It's funny. Actually, I own an electric 12 string that was Emily Remmeller's, and it's a Fender Strat 12 string.
Oh my.
Now maybe I have an idea. I'm so intimidated by it that now maybe that's how I should. Maybe I should tune it that way.
Yeah, watch the tension. If you go the top three and then just leave the bottom three alone, that might be fine to do.
Yeah, it's a freaky thing. But what I love about the energy of that, and also he has that stream of the eighth notes and the way he builds tension with that, like what Frank was saying when he does those. He'll do that a lot, and then it's almost like he's winding it up. You know what I mean? And that's also the amazing thing about improvisation is rhythm. It's like, actually, he's not playing a lot of different notes. He's just building that tension up, and it's like he's like winding it up, and then he just lets it go. Like once the tension's so high, and that's so exciting. I think that's what I always got from his playing in this solo in particular. I love the comping. I love Rhodes. I love that sound of the Rhodes. And they're just going for it, you know? Like even when they start to trading, sometimes they're bumping into each other. It's cool, you know? They're just having a good time and just riding that energy. This solo is in one of those Pat Martino books. I remember transcribing it myself long before that existed. Wow. As a kid at Berkeley. And there's just so many. I just love the way he even starts the solo. And he develops that, he takes that opening theme of a solo and he develops it a bit. And he just has that ability too to just take something and develop it through different parts of the harmony and the tune. So to me, that's kind of like the classic.
It really is, yeah.
You know?
When I was younger, I loved that. It just got me, like Frank said, it just got me so excited. But if you think that Pat Martino is just a guy that played like that, then go and get that record he made with Gil Goldstein called We'll Be Together Again.
Desert Island.
It will melt your heart. It's so beautiful. It's so open, and it's actually my favorite Pat Martino record because there's you don't grow up as an Italian kid, in Philadelphia and not get that heart-wrenching, thing, even though he didn't always demonstrate it, when he was hitting it hard in the clubs. On that record, it's just so beautiful. It's heart-wrenching. It's really wonderful.
Cool. Yeah, and I think the tone, not so long back, I saw him at the Blue Note. And just when I hear that note, just the first note, the sound, the tone, it makes me weep. I just started to well up, just to hear it in person. I think this is the thing too. I know he's not feeling well, and that to me is the thing that really just gets to my heart when I think about when you hear somebody in person. That the way the sound moves through the room and then hitting the string, there's something that. It's so special and really precious. I think that's why it's always, right now gigs aren't going on, but they'll be back. And like, that's to me is the most, we can listen to them on recording, but when you get a chance to see somebody, particularly if they're older and maybe you might be the only chance you get to see them, man, run, don't walk, to have that experience. I feel that about Jim Hall when he would play rhythm guitar. I'd get chills and I well up. It makes my heart weep. You can hear it on a record, but that you're not going to hear it in person. It's so special.